open your mouth and say N-O. But the art is to be able to say it in a way that does not sever relationships. Hey there, Cornell Jermaine here. Listen, back with another amazing episode. Listen, this particular episode is Ask Cornell. This is one where we allow our viewers, listeners, subscribers, followers, friends to submit questions related to leadership, communication, and entrepreneurship. And I have a question here from Morgan Bailey. The handle is Market with Morgan. What habits can I implement to help me get to my goal of becoming a successful business owner? And I think as I thought about this question about what habits she could implement, of course, there are many things that I could say. Save your money, be wise, build a network, so many things that we hear and read about across the internet and across various platforms. But there was something that struck me, and I hope it helps Morgan as well as you, our viewer. But it's something I think is so necessary and it's not necessarily always talked about. Now, this particular answer that I'm gonna give Morgan it's really gonna be for anybody who has a big heart, someone who loves to serve, someone who is often relied upon, someone who is often looked at as one who is respected and maybe even valued in their community, family, organization, etc. Morgan, I hope this really helps you in some capacity, but this particular person I'm speaking to is one that has great potential. The possibilities are endless. And I say that because their heart is pure. Now, why am I telling this to someone when they're asking about success in business ownership? I'm saying this because if you're gonna create a habit, if I'm gonna suggest one habit that I think is going to be useful, mind you, there are others, but this one I think is one that needs to be more discussed, and that is the art and the ability. And I say art and ability because it takes a certain skill set to do it, especially when you're not used to doing it. But it also takes the will and the ability to do so. And that is the art and the ability to say no. Why am I saying this? Morgan here is asking about habits she can implement to get to her goal of becoming a successful business owner or entrepreneur. Why is the art and ability of saying no necessary for Morgan and anybody else who's watching? It's necessary because particularly when you're an individual that is counted on, relied upon, people know if you say you're gonna be there, you're gonna be there. If you say you can do it, you're gonna do it. Even if you don't say, they know that if they call on you, you'll respond, you'll answer, you'll come to bat for whatever it is that they need. These kind of individuals, generally, they have the structure both mentally and emotionally to be able to become a success in whatever it is that they do. Why? Because they're usually a person of their word. They're usually one who is dependable. You know what I mean? They're one who is serious about their word and their relationships and the way they move in society or in their community, etc., etc. The problem is when they become that individual who is counted upon, looked upon, and they don't learn how to say no. They often expend themselves in a way that stretches them thin, that makes them weary and oftentimes discouraged when it comes to whatever goals they have in mind. If we don't learn how to say no and we continue to run to the rescue of everybody who needs us, to be there for everyone that wants us, we'll never see the fullness of the success that we are pursuing, be it in business, entrepreneurship, or just your profession, or your personal bucket list or goals, etc. There is power in saying no, especially for an individual that is not used to it. And I say that because many people who have this nature, they're made that way. And they're made that way because they're typically God's gift to somebody. God made them with this ability to stand up, step out, be the first. I'll do it. What do you need? Yes, I got you. And they're made that way because there is a bigger destiny at hand for them. But if they don't learn how to discipline that particular area of their life, they'll give. And what God made as a gift will ultimately become detrimental to their destiny. So understand, being a person of your word, being one who is willing to help, willing to step up, willing to step out is amazing. It's great. It is awesome. Don't change that. What you need to change is what you're gonna step up, step out, be willing to support and win. If you're in a season when you're building, Morgan, where you're building a business and you don't have the resources to pay people so that your time is free to be able to give and step up and sow and be there for everybody who wants you in your life, then you have to learn what is necessary for me to devote my time to right now. That's the habit. And if you understand that habit, as the seasons change in your life, you'll be able to navigate them a lot easier. And I say that as the seasons change because I just said the operative word is when. Because there's gonna be a time in your life where you're available. You can do whatever. Everything's going smooth, but then there may become a time where you have to pivot and your business is gonna require a little bit more strategy and a little bit more detail and a little bit more intuition and a little bit more mental capacity. It's gonna be a little bit more emotional to bear. You get what I'm saying? In those seasons, you may have to step back and you may have to disappoint some with the word no. I said at the beginning of this video that there's an art and the ability. The ability is just the will and your capacity just to open your mouth and say N-O. But the art is to be able to say it in a way that does not sever relationships. Because if you've been in the past one that has been there, available, that is always counted upon, and you all of a sudden say no, the way you navigate that season is going to determine whether you have those relationships at the end of that season. Now, granted, sometimes that season will come to get rid you of some relationships and people that really don't serve your next level, your destiny, etc. Understand that. But then there will be people that just have never understood or never had to navigate this particular side of you. If your art of saying no is one that allows them to understand this is not personal. This is just where I am right now and what I need to focus on right now. It will put them at ease, allow them to know that they have not been abandoned, but they will know that, okay, she's just focusing right now. And when that season is up, and you have the freedom and the liberty and a little bit more flexibility to move and to do, now you can reposition yourself, maybe to be that person and maybe not. Maybe you'll become a person who is just resourceful enough to be able to help them in a different way, where it doesn't require all of your time and mental and emotional capacity. Maybe you can refer them to somebody and say, hey, boom, I got a friend that can do this. And now, you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying. As you grow and you expand and you develop as a business owner, your resources and ability is going to become different and your relationships will grow with that, right? So that means that what you now are able to offer all those people who are used to you being there for them is may differ as well. So Morgan, and I know that was a long roundabout answer, but I hope you really got the gist of it. And if I had to give you one habit or one principle or one thought as it pertains to your journey of becoming a successful business owner and entrepreneur, it would be to understand the season you're in. And after understanding the season you're in, don't be afraid to say no. Practice the habit of saying no, and sometimes no thank you. I hope this has helped you, Morgan. And if you're a viewer that has came across this video and maybe you're not the young lady who wrote the question, but this was helpful to you, please like, share, subscribe. Hey, check out some other content on the channel and I'll be back with you same place, same time next week. Take care.